Who is the a-hole? The congressman who missed his anniversary to keep lawmakers voting until 4 a.m. Washington or Republic may not have made many new friends in the House this week after he kept his fellow lawmakers up all night debating a $1 trillion spending bill, All through Wednesday evening and into Thursday, weary-eyed members of Congress slogged through amendment after Roy used a procedural tactic that dramatically lengthened the time it took to vote. Evening plans worked by the time they ended, roughly 4 a.m. in Washington, D.C., the sun was close to casting its first light on the Washington Memorial, But if you ask Roy, a Texas Republican, he'd do it all again. His marathon act. Democrats had planned to go through dozens of amendments to the spending package, which included funding for a variety of programs, including gay health care, by a voice vote, meaning lawmakers would just call out aye or no and exact votes wouldn't be recorded. Roy chose the long way. He repeatedly, the freshman lawmaker, who is a member of the ultra-conservative House Freedom Caucus, pitched the plan to fellow Republicans, arguing that House Democrats were ignoring the crisis at the border, which has become a core focus of Trump's. So often, Roy, 46, told Usato Dayot had Republicans, constituents and members of the White House praised him for the overnight voting session. Unsurprisingly, wow. It's 10:06 p.m. I am heading back. The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, the campaign army for House Democratic candidates, accused him of grandstanding a congressman. Rather than bucking, Roy leaned into the criticism. The tactic has become Roy's weapon of choice, Last month, $19.1 billion in disaster relief, because most House members had left town and gone back to their districts before the Senate passed the bill. House Democratic Roy was there to object, arguing that the legislation did not do enough to help secure the southern U.S. border. He said he wanted, like that attempt, his most recent act of defiance would eventually end. The House adjourned early Thursday morning after getting through votes on dozens of amendments, How Republic. Roy held up record number of migrants. While Roy drew the side eye from his colleagues, his wife, Kara, was home in Austin, Texas. As an anniversary, I figured the most romantic thing I could do today is spend the day and night on the floor of the U.S. House. Chip Roy is having another tantrum keeping the U.S. House up all night to demand funding for a border wall. He really is Roy said it's likely not the last time he'll make headlines or be called a grandstander for his acts of protest, As for Kara, she's grown used to his late nights, This article originally appeared on USA Today.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.